an opportunity at a beginning job.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you for your call. Okay, Mr. Jones, tell us a little about Mobile Community Action. You're the executive director. What exactly is Mobile Community Action and what is its purpose?
Well, Mobile Community Action, Mr. Davis, is a private, non-profit organization that has the mission of eliminating the causes of poverty in Mobile County. Our agency has been in existence since 1965 in Mobile County, and we try to do that through a number of programs, strategies, and different approaches to trying to eliminate some of the causes of poverty.
Okay, you mentioned that the Mobile Community Action has been here since 1965. What about community action agencies in general? How long have they been in existence and why were they established?
Well, of course, community action agencies came into being as a result of the Economic Opportunities Act of 1964. The prime reason for that was during the time of the 60s when we had a lot of social unrest in the communities and when there was a lot of hunger and also a lot of deprivation on the part of many people in this country. President Johnson developed a task force at that time that was headed by Sergeant Shriver that went around the country and got input from various groups of people, especially in high poverty areas, concerning their needs and concerning the way that those needs need to be met. As a result of that, community action agencies were developed. And they were developed so all segments of the community could participate in the decision making as it relates to program development. And that's why the board of directors of community action agencies are structured the way they are today.
Okay, and we're going to come back to that board. So you have the community action agencies and then you have other social service agencies. What is the difference between, say, a community action agency and a state agency, say, like the Department of Human Resources?
Well, the basic reason is that the basic difference is we have the option to develop local programs. All of the programs that are operated by Mobile Community Action are designed at the local level, administered at the local level, and the people at the local level have a lot of input into that through community needs assessments, advisory councils, the board of directors, and various other methods of planning for programs in this area.
Whereas the state agencies, are the programs and projects, I would assume, are just mandated from the state level.
Usually they are either mandated from the state or the federal level, and those programs, basically, we design programs that fill the gaps of those programs. And with having that local program development option, it does a lot to serve some of the specific needs of a specific community. One community might need one service while another might desire a different service.
Okay. What about in the state of Alabama? How many community action agencies are there in the state, and how does the Mobile Community Action compare with the other community action agencies throughout the state?
There are presently 28 community action their services out of the metropolitan area into some of the rural areas. This really decreases hardship for people who have problems with transportation. And that's another issue altogether, rural transportation. But that's a problem for many low-income people, transportation within itself. We feel that the decentralization provides many options that are not available with the central organization. One of those options being the people who operate our centers in those communities usually live in that community. They know a lot about that community. They know the people. It also tends to curtail some program abuse as it relates to people who come from one community to another. It is very easy to assess needs and to assess the need for various service when you're community-based.
Okay, we are discussing the many services that are provided by Mobile Community Action, and we would like to encourage those of you who are viewing in, if you have any questions, any comments or observations, feel free to give us a call. Mr. Jones is the director of the agency, so we hope that you do tune in. Mr. Jones, we, Community Action, somewhat sponsors the employment show here, and we do have an employment component. Why does Mobile Community Action concentrate on providing employment services to people in this area?
Of course, our agency have a vested interest in the unemployment rate in areas we serve. Keeping in mind that if a person is unemployed, normally they fall below the poverty level. They then become our clients. So we have a vested interest in what the employment situation is in Mobile County, and we have a vested interest in trying to decrease the high unemployment rate. Because as that increases, our client population also increases. And with an employment rate of above 9% in any county in this state, it is very, very difficult to do anything about poverty with high level of unemployment. Unemployment is the cause of a lot of the reasons people are in poverty, and it keeps a lot of people in poverty. Recently, we've heard of what's called the new poor, and that is a result of recent high unemployment rates. Some people have never been employed for years, so it has a real definite impact on our mission.
Okay, and so community action does emphasize assisting people economically through employment. And when you talk about community action here in Mobile, one of the foremost programs I would think that comes to mind is the Head Start program. What exactly is the Head Start program, and what is its objective?
The Head Start program is a child development program. Since the new public law that requires the public school system to provide slots for all 5-year-olds in kindergarten, the Head Start program has targeted 4-year-olds and some 3-year-olds. And what we try to do is prepare that child to enter the public school system. And this is done through a lot of different approaches, including medical and dental screening, speech therapy, including an educational plan. Many people take Head Start to be a daycare center. It is far from that. This is a child development program that is designed to develop a child to the point where they can transition into the public school system and is on the same level with children of better incomes who've had better schooling in terms of preschool.
Okay, and currently community action administers out of how many locations as far as Head Start? And I know we have...
we presently operate about 10 different Head Start centers throughout Mobile and Washington County. Those centers house some 886 children.
Okay. What about, okay, we're talking about the children and the families, and Head Start, from my understanding, is also for the parents of the children to more or less kind of acclimate them into working with their children into the school system. But what about employment opportunities for senior citizens, the foster grandparent program? What exactly is the foster grandparents program?
The foster grandparent program is what we consider to be probably one of our most popular programs and one of the most rewarding programs. It's a program that takes senior citizens, match them with special children, and it basically provides both something to do during the day. It's more of a volunteer program than an employment program. We give stipends as a result of those volunteers.
Okay, so you take senior citizens and match them up with special needs children throughout the city and county area.
Right.
And the senior citizens are paid to work with the children.
They are paid a stipend just to defray some of their expenses of being away from home. But it was a very rewarding program in terms of relationship.
And before we go on break, how many foster grandparents approximately are there in the project now? And what type of response do you see in the seniors who are working on these?
Well, there are 60 foster grandparents actively in the program, and